Welcome, Leverage Show family. I'm your host, Lambo Drew. You are now tuned in to another edition of the Leverage Show. You guys do not want to miss this. My guy, the man of the hour, is in the building, man. My guy, Rondi Lambeth, right here on the broadcast. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Eastside, see you. C-Murph, I see you. Cutie Potato for Life, I see you. Champ, I see you. LA Law, I see you. Money, I see you. Everybody is in the building. Thank you guys for all that you guys are doing. I'm not wasting no time because we have the man himself right back here on the Leverage Show, and we want to make sure that we get every minute and every moment we can from the man himself, Mr. Rondi Lambeth. Welcome back to the Leverage Show, Rondi. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing absolutely incredible.
Dang, well, you look great, man, for a man who just had a heart attack, man, just a month ago, dude.
Yeah, that was not something that I expected. Obviously, I'm in great health, and I had on November 25th, I had 3 arteries in my heart just spontaneously rupture. It's called a SCAD. It's about 300 men in America have it every year, so extremely rare. Has nothing to do with diet or weight or anything. It's just like they don't even know what causes it. They just broke open. Luckily, I live really close to the hospital, so within an hour, I was on the operating table and got all fixed up. So glad to be here.
Well, we're glad to see you here, man, because you're always a Leverage Show favorite. We love it. Every time you come back to this Leverage Show, people have literally, since the last time you have been here, have made full communities out of the information that you dropped and left the nuggets here on the Leverage Show. So we're excited, man, for you to come right back here on the Leverage Show and deliver us some more knockout blows, man, especially for 2024, dude. All right?
Well, first of all, I'll do my best.
Your best is probably better than 98% of the people I know out here, right? Who are faking the funk, man. So that's what we love about you and everything, Rondi. So let's talk about it, man. Again, a lot of people in the new year, they're restructuring their finances, they're restructuring taxes, they're doing all of these things, man. What are some great strategies that people can use to start the year off if they really want to go ahead and capitalize in 2024, Rondi?
I've been saying this for the last 16 years, and that is your credit score is the most important number in your finances. It determines how much you pay for gas, groceries, electricity, your cell phone, your clothing, your internet, your phone bill. 100% of everything you buy, with exception to drugs, that's about the only thing I think of that you have to pay cash for, a debit card. But everything else, it costs more if you have bad credit.
Yeah.
And I'll prove it to you. If you go to a gas station and you use debit card or cash, and I go to the gas station and I use my American Express card or my Costco card or my Citi card or my Chase card, I'm going to pay on average 20 cents a gallon less than you are. And why I'm going to pay less is I'm going to get 5% cash back. Gas is about $4 a gallon. $5 or 5% times $4, 20 cents. I'm paying $3.80. You're paying $4. Now I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but if it's on rent, electricity, food, clothing, on everything, it adds up. So the answer to your question is the number one thing someone can do to make sure their finances are proper in 2024, get your credit score right. And then once you have fixed your credit, increased your score, you now can start refinancing your debt. And then you can use new credit at 0% interest to pay off all these high interest loans and payday loans and all this other garbage. And even if you don't have bad credit, most people don't leverage it the right way. And one of the things we teach at Fortress University is how to leverage it. So a lot of times I'll meet someone and they'll ask me what I do. And I say, yeah, I teach people about credit. And they're like, oh, I have an 850 credit score. My response to them, Drew, is, oh, I'm sorry. And they're like, excuse me? Did you not hear me? I have an 850. I'm like, I heard you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Because you're not leveraging it if you're 850. That means you're missing out.
Yeah.
The number one way to become wealthy is leveraging other people
Yeah.
Other people's money.
Facts.
Right? And so if you have a 850 credit score, that means you're not leveraging your credit. You can do a lot with an 800 credit score. So that's what I recommend. Get your credit straight.
Well, thank you for that, man. You get the Lambo Bell definitely being welcome back, man, with that awesome knowledge. Shout out to you for that. Well, there are some people, man, who are saying, Lambeth, Rondi, where do I start? Where do I go?
Yep.
What do I do? Where do I open up? Some people don't know what app to even go to. Where would they actually go to go ahead and pull an actual bureau so they know what's actually on there? For the
I love that question. I have some really exciting news.
Talk to us.
A few weeks ago, it got delayed because of my heart attack. But a few weeks ago, we launched my new company. And I've been doing credit repair, credit education, debt settlement, bankruptcy planning, tax, all of that. Financial guy for the last 16 years, 500,000 plus clients. A couple weeks ago, we launched creditmojo.ai. That's creditmojo.ai. It is a place so you can go and get all 3 credit reports, plus your insurance report on your car insurance. Plus, if you need credit repair, it's free with subscription to Credit Mojo. So instead of paying Identity IQ $29.95 a month or my FICO $40 a month, you simply cancel that subscription, move over to creditmojo.ai, you pay $39.95, you get all 3 credit reports every month, and you get free credit repair. And the way it works is we've trained our AI. We took those 500,000 people that we fixed their credit over the last 16 years. We imported their data, their credit reports, all of the data, and then we put in the Fair Credit Report Act, the Fair and Accurate Credit Transaction Act, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, and all the laws. We had AI read it, trained it, took us 2 years to train it. AI is smart, but you still got to train it.
Yeah.
And now we launched it. People are averaging a 55% deletion right out the bat. So what happens with it is you simply log in, you put in your username and password, you click the button, the AI looks at your credit report, finds all the mistakes, suggests a dispute, you click submit, it emails it to you, you print it, sign it, mail it, and you're done. You don't have to know anything about credit. Our system's doing all of it for you, no cost for the credit repair. Now, here's what people will ask. Because they get a little weirded out, like it's free, like nothing's free. Look, you got to pay for the credit monitoring. The credit bureaus own the data. You got to pay them. That's what the $39.95 is. That's to pay for the credit monitoring. Here's how we make money. Not only is it telling you what the mistakes are, it's notifying us of the items that we can sue on. So just earlier today, I was talking to a medical doctor, had a $114 collection on his credit report from this little insurance company called Progressive with Flo, right?
Yep.
Well, Flo sent him to collections. So there's a collection, not Progressive, but an actual collection company in Las Vegas trying to collect $114 from this doctor. Now, insurance is a lot like medical, a lot like mortgage, and a lot like realtors. You have to be licensed with the state that you're trying to collect an insurance premium on. I am licensed, so I could actually do it. But if you're not a licensed insurance agent, you can't write insurance policies and you can't collect money. These collection companies that Progressive uses are not licensed insurance agents. So they're actually breaking state law in an attempt to collect an insurance premium.
Wow.
So not only did we get the $114 collection removed from his credit report, we got him a big fat check for $5,000. How do we find this? He signed up for creditmojo.ai. It showed up. It instantly notified us. We called him, said, hey, congratulations, you're working on your credit. How would you like a check for $2,500 to $5,000? He's like, tell me more. We just got the letter back today from the collection company. They're going to send him a check for $5,000, and then they pay us. So that's how we're making the money off this free service, is it notifies us of the things that we can sue on. I own a law firm. I'm not an attorney. The state of Utah allows non-attorneys to own a law firm. So not only do we fix your credit, we reduce your debt, we get rid of your taxes, we can do debt settlement for you, but we can actually sue and get you a little bit of money. That's not a lot of money. That, you know, the doctor it's $5,000. He's a medical doctor, but that's, you know, it's a nice little vacation somewhere. But most importantly, the collection come off his credit report. So the answer is creditmojo.ai.
And I put it right there on the screen, creditmojo.ai. You guys definitely can go there and definitely share it with your friends, your family members, your neighbors, coworkers. Somebody out here may need this, and I know they will need this information because, Rondi, let's talk about the percentages of people, bad credit versus great credit. What is that number looking like these days, even in 2024?
Well, 84 million Americans have a medical collection on their credit report right now, even though the credit bureaus are not supposed to be reporting medical collections, but they're not supposed to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
And, you know, I know you like to drive your Lambo fast, right?
Yeah.
Like my Ferrari. My Ferrari does not like to do the speed limit.
Yeah.
We are not supposed to speed. We're not supposed to.
I think we got bricks in our shoes, Rondi. What you think, man?
Hey, look, those cars are not designed to drive like a grandma's driving it. It's punch it or don't drive it at all. It actually is really bad for those cars to keep it in the 2,000-3,000 RPM range.
Yep.
You're supposed to not redline them, but get them 5,000. My Ferrari shifts so much better at 7,000 RPMs than it does at 2,000 RPMs. It's smoother.
Yeah.
But I speed. I'm not supposed to, but I do it anyway. Why? Because the likelihood of me getting caught is slim to none. And if I do, I'm just going to pay the damn ticket and be done with it. The credit bureaus and the banks do the same thing. They're not out there trying to destroy your life and looking at your social media and like, well, I don't like this about this person. Let's ruin their life. They're not doing that.
Yeah.
It's so much cheaper and easier just to break the law a little bit than it is to follow the law.
Yeah.
Well, 84 million Americans have a medical collection on their credit report right now.
Yeah. Over
50% of Americans have less than a good credit score. So that's 150 million. So think about that. 50% of the people you know have less than good credit. 100%. And I'll put money on it. Anybody in your audience, if you can show me a perfect credit report, I'll give you $1,000 in cash. I'll give you $10,000 in cash. You heard it right here. If you have a perfect credit report, no mistakes, no errors, nothing wrong on it, I'll give you $10,000 in cash if you can show me that credit report that doesn't have any mistakes. And you won't be able to, so don't even try.
Yeah.
I've been saying that now for 16 years. I've never had to give him any money because it's always wrong. I told that to a congressman once. We went to Washington, D.C., and I said, look, I'll give you $100,000 right now in cash. If you pull up your credit report, because he's saying credit reports don't have mistakes. I'm like, I'll give you $100,000 right now in cash if it has no mistakes. He's like, you're on. Pulled it up. I won't repeat what he said, but he dropped some F-bombs and a whole bunch of other stuff because they were supposed to fix it and they didn't. So the majority, all Americans have some type of mistake on their credit if they have a credit report.
Right.
And the majority of Americans actually have negative credit.
And I think that's always the problem, right, Rondi, where there's a lot of people, no matter what social economic class that you're in, you're dealing with the battle with your credit, right?
It is.
And most people don't know which direction to go to. Okay, what do we do from this point? Where do we go next? And, you know, let's talk about people, man, who we know tax time is coming out right now, right? And they're going to be getting tax returns. How do they be able to at least pay down some of the negative debt or even the credit card balances that they may have ran up? What methods could they use?
So I would recommend before you go and pay down negative debt, I'm assuming you're saying collections or charge-offs. Is that what you mean by negative debt?
Actually, you know, maybe late payments if they may have been late on their credit cards or something like
But
that.
still open credit cards?
Still open credit cards, yes.
Okay. So, yes, that's the page. Get your mojo back.
Yeah.
If the credit card's still open, then I recommend just paying whatever you can, get it down. I always start with the lowest credit limit, the lowest balance first.
Yeah.
That way you're making some momentum. Ignore the interest rate. I don't care about that. But if it's a closed credit card because they charged it off, or if it's a collection, I recommend that you hire a professional to help you with that. So, for example, if you owed Progressive Insurance $114, you could pay that debt on your own, or you could hire me as a professional and walk away with it deleted, not pay it, and get a check for $5,000. So I recommend you hire a professional. We do debt settlement. We help people every single day settle debt. And on average, we save our clients 50 to 70%. Plus, we get it deleted from their credit report, and they don't pay us any money up front. No management fee, no maintenance fee, no retainer.
Yeah.
We're working on performance because we know what these banks are going to settle. As soon as we look at your credit report, we say, oh, it's Capital One. You're going to pay them 45 cents. Let me send an email. You got the money to pay? You got the money? Okay. We send the email because it's us and they know we're going to sue them, and we've sued them over and over again. They're like, fine, we'll do 47. No, we'll do 45. Okay, 45%. And then that's it. It's super easy for us to do it because we've done it over and over and over again. So my recommendation is, if you're going to pay old debt, hire a professional to help you. And only hire someone that works on performance. You don't need to hire me. Hire someone that only works on performance. No monthly fee BS.
Yeah.
Only pay them after it gets settled. Nothing up front.
Game.
You're going to have a hard time finding anybody else that does it that way.
I know.
Because I don't know anybody but us that does it that way. So
yeah. Well,
I say that honestly. Like, I don't know anybody that does it the way we do it.
Well, that's why you guys are one of a kind, right? You got to stand out here, you know? Well, let's talk about that myth, debt consolidation versus debt settlement. Let's kind of inform the people out there who may not know the difference between the two.
So most debt consolidation, it's a marketing ploy. What they'll do is they'll run ads. If you got $50,000, $10,000 or whatever, we can consolidate it into one loan. And what they're doing is, you think you're getting a new loan and you're consolidating it. Usually what happens is they say, you can stop making all your payments now, and instead you're going to pay us one payment. Now it's consolidated, and then they wait for you to get sued. Then once you get sued, then they work out a payment arrangement. But now you got sued, and you got a judgment now on your credit report. So that's debt consolidation. Now, is there such a thing as a legitimate debt consolidation? Yeah. You know, if you go to prosper.com, you can go to a credit union, go to the bank and say, look, I got $50,000 credit card debt. Can I get a loan for $50,000? If you have great credit, maybe some equity in your house, banks will give you a line of credit or a personal loan. And then you take that $50,000 and you pay off the credit cards. Most of the time, debt consolidation is a second mortgage on your house. That's how most of it works. If it's legitimate, what most people see with the postcards and the ads, those are just marketing ploys. They're saying you're approved for a $50,000 loan. And then you call them, they're like, nope, sorry, but we can settle your debt for you. And they think, I don't know how many times I talk to people. They're like, oh yeah, I just make one loan. And I pull their credit and everything's in litigation status. And they had no idea.
Yeah.
Because these companies tell them, just ignore everything you get in the mail. Don't worry about it. We're going to take care of it. It's really a shame. But on the other side, the people that suffer from it, they kind of deserve it. And what I mean by that is, they want to take the easy way out. They want to ignore everything and just kind of bury their head in the sand. And they're not really paying attention. It's just like, okay, whatever. It's the easy button. I'll push the easy button, and then they walk away from it instead of actually doing a little bit of research to find out what they're doing. And I shouldn't say they deserve it. They're desperate.
Yeah.
And desperate people do desperate things. And I really hate the fact that there's so many people that start businesses that take advantage of people. Like I've been watching these ads on Facebook for credit repair, and I saw one that's called the Credit Brothers. And it's a dude in like it looks like he's in his childhood bedroom, dark room, and he's talking about how if you buy his system for $37 tomorrow in the next 24 hours, you're going to have a 110-point increase if you just buy this book for $37. And obviously they're making money at it because they keep seeing it on Facebook. And it's sad that they can just get away with this for a little while, and then they get caught, and then they switch their names. And so I would stay away from most companies that offer debt consolidation and stay away from the majority of debt settlement. There's some good ones out there, but you need to really do your research on them. Don't pay anything up front, whatever you do.
Shout out to you for that. Yeah. It's great information, man, that Rondi's talking about. Now, let's talk about credit mix, Rondi. What's a great credit mix that people out here should have and what you should see on the credit profiles?
FICO, and when I talk about credit, there's lots of different credit scores. There's FICO, there's Vantage, TransRisk, Paydex, Liquid. I can keep going. There's lots and lots of different scores. When I talk about credit scores, I'm specifically talking about FICO. And the reason I'm talking about FICO is because FICO is the Rolls-Royce most trusted software out there. It's been out there since 1956. The 90% of the world's banks use FICO. Yeah. What FICO wants to see on your credit report are 5 things. Number 1, they want to see open credit cards. They want to see at least 3 credit cards. I did a consult with this guy today, and it was one of the first times that I had to raise my voice with one of my coaching clients. And he was just not being coachable. And I finally said, look, there's no reason for us to stay on this call if you're just going to keep cutting me off saying I'm not going to do it. You asked me how to increase your credit score. I'm trying to tell you, and you're saying you ain't going to do it. So he apologized because it was just like he's just wasting my time and his time. But they want to see at least 3 credit cards. And the problem with this gentleman I was talking to only had 1 credit card, and he wasn't going to go get any more. He didn't believe in credit. And I'm like, why are we even talking then? I need money to start my business. Then you do believe in credit then. You need at least 3 credit cards at all times on your credit report. That's the first thing. So 3 credit cards. They also want to see a car loan or some type of installment loan. That could be a student loan. It can be a boat loan, a motorcycle loan, an automotive loan, a personal loan, but they want to see some type of installment loan. An installment loan is just what you make payments in installments. $300 a month for the next 4 years. That's an installment loan. And then lastly, they want to see a mortgage on your credit report. And here's the rule. You can have incredible credit. You can have great credit in the 800s without a mortgage. But you cannot have great credit without credit cards. So you don't have to have a mortgage to have 800 credit scores. Prior to me buying my house a couple of years ago, I was in the 800s and I had no mortgage. I paid my house. I sold my house. I was a renter for a while because I wasn't sure where I wanted to live. And so for 4 years, I had no mortgage, but I still had an 800 plus credit score because I had open credit cards that I used every month. So that's what they want to see. 3 credit cards, 1 car loan, and a mortgage to have above that 805 range. Now, with those credit cards, you need to use them every month. If you don't use them, FICO is going to consider those credit cards closed. And the reason they're going to consider it closed is because banks are very lazy. And this is how we're able to get late payments and charge-offs, collections, short sales, judgments, repossessions removed from credit reports because banks are lazy. Like we were talking, it's just cheaper and easier just break the law than follow the law. Yep. So banks are lazy, and they will sometimes you will close an account and then they forget to update the status and they report month after month after month. Capital One is one of these banks that does this. You close it, and then for the next 4 years, they still continue to report it open. And so FICO has gone in and says, look, if you have an account that's open with no activity for 3 months, we are going to consider that account closed due to inactivity, and we're going to kick it out of the formula or the algorithm, and you're not going to get credit for that credit card because we think it's closed. So it's really important that you use your credit cards every single month. So I have several dozen credit cards, and I have one credit card that Netflix is on one, my cell phone bill's on another, my electric bill, my water bill, my gas bill, my garbage bill. So I pay my utility bills with my credit cards, and then I have the credit cards set up to automatically pay themselves in full every month. And that can be really scary, Drew, that if you don't have a lot of money, it's kind of, your paycheck to paycheck, like 76% of Americans are.
Yeah.
It can be scary to have things on auto payment. So what I recommend on that is you only set up auto payment to pay in full on the cards that you're paying Netflix with, an electric bill, because you should always have $13 in the bank account. Now, look, I know there are people, we talk to them every day, they don't have $13. They don't have $1 in their bank account. So obviously, if you don't even have $1 in there, you probably shouldn't have anything on bill pay, automatic payments. But I can tell you this has saved my butt so many times. Auto pay.
Yeah.
Because I had a heart attack on November 25th. Do you think I was logging into my bank account on December 1st to make sure my mortgage got paid or the credit cards got paid? No.
Yeah.
I didn't look at my bank account for a good 30 days. One, I didn't want any stress, and I knew there wasn't a lot of money in there because December is the worst month of the year. We usually don't make any money in December. And look, I had some NSFs. I'll be real with you. I had some payments that didn't go through, but the bank paid it for me.
Yeah.
And so I was able to go to the bank after I was able to drive. I went into the bank and I said, look, I had a heart attack last month. I had some NSFs, non-sufficient fund fees. Can you just waive those for me? And they're like, sure. And they waived it. And they're $35 a piece, and there's a couple of them in there. So you can get the banks to reverse the fees. You can't get the bank to reverse the late payment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the advantage of even if it bounces and you get the fee and they don't pay it, your bank's going to notify you.
Yeah.
Because if you're on electronic statements and you don't pay a credit card, they don't always tell you didn't pay them. But your bank will notify you had an NSF fee. And you're like, what's this? Oh, shit, that was my Capital One credit card. And now you caught it before waiting until it got 30 days late. So your question was mixture.
Yeah.
Mortgage, 3 credit cards, car loan, but for sure 3 credit cards.
Good. Shout out to you for that. Definitely, that is definitely worth repeating because you guys should know that. Once a credit card is charged off, should it still be reporting utilization, LA law says?
No. So there's a couple things inside there.
Yeah.
Once it's charged off, should it be reporting utilization? So I think the question is, should it be showing a balance?
Mm-hmm.
And the answer, according to the law, is no. If you charged it off, then there's no balance owed on that credit card. However, where people get messed up with this is they think they don't owe the money anymore. You still owe the money. It's just they legally can't, for credit reporting, they can't report a balance owed on a charge-off account. And this is how we get out accounts, charge-off accounts deleted, is we send them a letter and we write our letters like we're a 5th grader. And we want them to think that we don't know anything about anything. We're just some podunk redneck that doesn't know anything from Tennessee. I'm from Idaho, so I'll just say from Idaho. We're not sophisticated city people.
Mm-hmm.
So we write our letter in that tone to get them to bite. And what they will do is they'll come back with some legal jargon, and now we've trapped them. Mm-hmm. And now I have it on their letterhead stating that it's accurate. And now the next letter they get's from the law firm. And that's how we get the charge off removed, and we get a little coin in your pocket and a lot more in my pocket. And it's not that we're trying to get rich off of this, it's that you can't legally get that much. You're limited. I think it's up to $1,500 now, but I can get attorney fees where I can't share the attorney fees with the client, but I can get you $1,500. And you don't have to pay the charge off, and I get it deleted. So it's kind of a win-win-win.
Yeah, for everybody.
Yeah, it's a great question. No, it can't show the balance, but they do. Yeah.
Shout out to you for that. And Blue Sky definitely puts on there first. FICO wants, man, at least 3 open credit cards. Definitely an installment loan or car loan, and then a mortgage. Yes.
Yeah, so look, if you don't have an installment loan, I don't want you to go buy a new car and go into debt for credit.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, you probably got a car. I don't know, Drew, do you have any cars that are paid off?
Oh, yes. I got my cars in my garage and in my driveway paid off.
Right. So how much one of those cars worth? Just ballpark?
Ballpark, $22,000.
So you could go down to pretty much any credit union, say, look, I'm trying to rebuild my credit. I got this car. It's worth $22,000. Will you give me a title loan for 10 grand?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the title. Guess what they'll do? Here's a check for $10,000. Now you have a loan on a paid off car. And where people get hung up is like, now I'm not debt free anymore. Listen, if you want to become wealthy, you got to increase your credit score.
Yeah.
So instead of going buying a new car, you just get a title loan on your existing car, and they give you $10,000 in cash. Now you don't go to the strip club, and make it rain. You put the $10,000 in cash into your checking account.
Yeah.
And then you wait 1 month. And a month later, you are going to write a check or bank transfer of $9,950. And you're going to pay down that $10,000 loan that you took out 30 days ago. You're going to pay it down to $50. And now it's going to do a couple things. One, it's going to tell FICO that you've made essentially 4 or 5 years of payments all up front. It's going to change the utilization rate and make it look like you just took out a $10,000 loan. You were supposed to pay it off over 5 years. You've paid it ahead. Now you only owe $50. So now you get another boost in the credit score. Now, are you going to have to pay interest? Yeah, it's on $50. Let's say it's a high interest rate of 10%. That's $5 a year or less to have an 800 credit score. Is it worth it? I say it's worth it.
Yeah.
And then you pay $1 a month for the next 4 years. Okay. That way, yes, technically you're still in debt. But who cares? My Ferrari that I have, it's the car that's sitting right behind my shoulder.
Yep.
Those are my actual real cars, my real airplane behind me.
Yep.
I owe like $800 on that car, and it's worth several $100,000. Why do I keep a loan on it? Because I'm constantly building my credit profile, and it makes it look good. It is not impossible. It is highly, highly unlikely that you will ever be able to buy an exotic or luxury car if you've never bought or owned a luxury car before. It has to be on your credit report.
Do you know, first of all, let me tell a little secret to everybody. Rondi was the first one years ago who told me and taught me about the exotic car plate, right? And we did a thing yesterday with Tony Nino. He's out there in California, biggest exotic car dealership, man, out there. But Rondi taught me about the exotic car. He said, man, Lambo, I took a Ferrari and I put, what was it, a 15-year, 12-year, 15-year loan?
12-year loan, yep.
144-month term loan on it. Yep. And he said, dude, for what I'm paying for this, you're paying for a Honda or, a Honda out there,
My Ferrari loan, when I had it, now it's got like $800. So I'm paying like $15 a month or something on it. The payment was half what that Toyota Tundra behind me is. That Toyota Tundra payment is $1,600 a month. My Ferrari was $800 a month. Why? 12 years.
Yeah.
12 years versus 4 years. And now that car keeps going up in value every day because every day some other idiot wrecks his and catches it on fire or whatever, so mine's worth more money. Because they only made 599 of them.
Yeah. Shout out to Rondi for that, dude. Everybody's in here asking some great questions. Shout out to you for that. If we don't have a mortgage, what is the third option that you can use?
So if you don't have a mortgage, don't worry about it. It's literally 25 points. And I've done it multiple times over the last 16 years. I've owned lots of houses, and it's always like 20 to 25 point boost. So I'll be floating around 805, 810. I get the mortgage, I bump up to 820, 830. It's not a big deal not to have the mortgage. It just gives you a little buffer. They want a mortgage, but you don't have to have the mortgage. So don't stress over it. Make sure you have the credit cards. And then one of the nice things with Credit Mojo is the problem with credit cards and entrepreneurs when they use these credit cards is they'll use them and then they pay it off on the due date. And then they look at their credit score and it's low because of utilization rate.
Yeah.
And I did a coaching call with the guy today. And he's like, I pay it off every month. I'm like, I realize that. The problem is they report to the credit bureaus prior to your due date. It's called the statement date. One of the things that we built into Credit Mojo now is when you log in, you hit Score Boost, and it will literally tell you the statement date for every single credit card now in order. So now you literally click a button and you can move the slider back and forth. It'll tell me how many points you get, but it'll tell you in order what credit cards need to be paid first and how much you need to pay. And that is way more important than worrying about the mortgage. So I wouldn't worry about the mortgage at all.
Awesome.
Love the question.
Great question. Okay. Thanks so much, LA Law. Shout out to you. Write the letter like a fifth grader. Rondi knows how to play this game. Yes, he does.
You know, my mother passed away in June. Yeah. And for about 5 years, I had my mom doing all the letters when we were small. And my mom chain smoked and drank coffee all day.
Yeah.
And I had a client call me one day and they were livid. They're like, you said you're a professional company. I got this envelope. It smells like cigarettes and someone spilled coffee all over it. And they were just like yelling at me. I'm like, good. Like, what do you mean? I'm like, we do that on purpose. Like, do you think a credit repair company? Because what we're trying to do is we don't want them to think it's a credit repair company.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea. So my mom's smoking and spilling ashes all over this stuff and spilling coffee and food. It looks like my mom wrote the letter and spilled coffee and ashes on it. So it's like, that was on purpose.
So. Shout out to moms for that, man.
Yeah.
It's a great question. Is it illegal? Is it legal for medical bills to show up on your credit report?
Is it legal? I don't know that it's illegal to have it or legal. And the reason I say that is right now they're in the process of editing the Fair Credit Report Act. What they've agreed to is to not report it. So the credit bureaus have came out because of pressure from the Trump administration that they came out and they said, look, we won't report it anymore. But there's no law as of yet that says they can't do it. It's just they made public statements that they wouldn't do it. Yeah. And eventually they'll probably someone will change the Fair Credit Report Act. It changes all the time. It's been around since 1970. It'll most likely get changed to where it's a law that they can't report it because there's so many complaints still. I mean, 84 million Americans have medical collections.
Yeah.
You know, and they should be on there. I had a heart attack, like I said, on November 25th. You know what I got today? I got an ambulance bill. It is the 23rd. Almost 2 months.
Yeah.
So almost 60 days. I don't know what that balloon thing is coming.
I've seen that. I'm sitting there looking at that like, hey, Rondi, it's you.
The balloons are good because I'm alive. But here's the thing. I got it today, and I took a picture of it. I swear to you, I could not make this stuff up. I could, but what good is that?
Yeah.
Here is a picture of the envelope I took today. Now, why would I take a picture of an ambulance bill that I got today? Because it's postmarked.
Yeah.
By law. This is a law.
Yeah.
So the other law about medical collections, I don't think it's a law yet, but this is a law. If you get transported in an ambulance, they must have an estimate over to you within 4 hours.
Wow.
And if they don't have it over to you within 4 hours, you don't have to pay them a dime. So I have this several $1,000 ambulance bill, which I would have happily paid. And my insurance is probably going to pay a portion of it.
Yeah.
But guess what? Anything above my insurance, I'm not paying them squat because they have 4 hours. And you know what they will most likely do? They're going to send me to collections.
Yeah.
And they'll probably send me collections in the next couple months. And I'm going to hammer them because I'm a veteran. So they legally can't send me to collections. Number two, they did not send it to me within 4 hours. And number three, they're violating the Fair Credit Report Act. So I'm going to hammer them with 3 different lawsuits. And then I'll sue Equifax, TransUnion, Experian. So I'll probably end up walking away from this thing with $30, $40, maybe $50,000 because they screwed up. And this, Drew, is why you want to hire a professional to help you with this stuff.
Shout out to you for that, Rondi. Information, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Rondi, it's a great another question. Rondi, what you just explained, I've wondered about paying down my mortgage until it's very small. Is there an advantage for that?
Thank you so much for asking that question. What I talked about earlier about making the big payment only works on installment loans.
Yeah.
Student loans, bank loans, car loans, airplane loans, Ferrari loans, Lamborghini loans, installment loans. A mortgage is not an installment loan. It is a completely separate type of loan. It is a mortgage. If you make extra payments, it will not work on a mortgage. It only works on installment loans. One of the things that we teach at Fortress University is how to convert a 30-year mortgage into a 7 to 10-year mortgage without refinancing it. So literally, that Ferrari behind me, 12-year mortgage, 12-year loan rather, paid off in 6 years. Now, technically, it's not paid off, but could I have paid it off last month or, whenever? Yeah, it's only a couple $100 owed. So all of my airplane, my trucks, my Jeeps, all of it have loans because it's 2-3% interest.
Yeah.
Why would I take money out of my pocket that I can put in one of my apartment complexes, make 20-25% interest off of, or put in stocks or some other investment? Why would I pay cash for a car? It's stupid. In my case, in most people's case, it's probably a good idea to pay cash. But if you have money and you have cash, you can put it in an investment that pays you more than the interest, then do it.
Yeah.
So what we teach is how to pay off loans 70% faster. And the way we do it is, Drew, if you went and purchased something today with your American Express card, and when the bill came due and you paid it in full, how much interest do you pay?
You paid it in full and zero.
Zero, right? It's not a trick question. I ask that question. People are like, wait a minute, it's a trick question. No, not a trick question. If you pay the credit card in full, there's no interest, right?
Right.
So what we teach people to do with mortgages is to convert it to almost a credit card. So you get 28 days a month, no interest. You're only paying interest on these mortgages for 2 days now versus the standard mortgage you pay interest every single day. So I, instead of paying extra, instead of doing that game with the mortgage, it won't work what I was telling you earlier. Instead, follow me on Instagram or TikTok. And a lot of the stuff that we teach inside of Fortress University, I share it on social media. It's just when it's on social media, you got to go find it. Versus at Fortress University, it's all packaged in order of importance and you just log in and you see it. And look, if you sign up for creditmojo.ai, you get the training for free. Yeah.
He's giving out some amazing stuff. Listen, y'all, this is amazing stuff from Rondi. Again, y'all can follow Rondi right here at Rondi Lambeth. Definitely go to rondilambeth.com for you guys to go on ahead and stay tapped in. But also Rondi Lambeth on Instagram as well as Facebook, right, Rondi?
Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, X, TikTok. Everything's Rondi Lambeth. That's the nice thing of having a girl's name.
Yeah.
A unique girl's name as a man. That now, here's the thing I will tell everybody. Make sure you only follow the guy with the blue check mark.
Yeah.
I have 20, 30 fake posers that I don't know what their game. Well, I know what their game is. They sell bullshit crypto stuff.
Yeah.
if you find me and you have, if you search Rondi Lambeth on any of the social media platforms and there's not a blue check mark, it's not me. I pay that extra amount. It's not an ego thing. I pay it to save you from getting ripped off because I hate scammers. So I pay that $15 a month to make sure you don't get ripped off.
Facts. Well, you guys definitely go tap into Rondi there. Our time right now is short this time. So you already know you got to come back because he was able to talk about credit this time. But you left us with cliffhangers the last time, Rondi, between the IUL plays, the taxes, and all of that. You got to come back to the show and definitely go ahead and really give us some amazing game on that the next time you come back. We really want to thank you, Rondi, for this time, dude. You really killed it out here today.
Thank you so much. And remember, if you're making less than $100,000 a year, you should be paying no income tax. If you want to learn more about that, follow me on social media, Rondi Lambeth. I talk about it all the time. Make less than $100,000, you should not pay any income tax whatsoever. By law, you don't have to. So.
And that is Mr. Rondi Lambeth, y'all. Thank you, Rondi, man, for this amazing time, dude. You're truly an amazing dude. Again, please like and go subscribe to Rondi Lambeth, man, on his social media. Make sure it's the blue check mark on Instagram as well. And you guys are not being duped by anybody. Trust me, Rondi won't never message you to send money back to him or put money into any frivolous type of scam that's out there. And again, you guys can go to rondilambeth.com and actually sign up through Fortress as well and get all of this information and really be able to hone in on your 2024, man. Rondi, we thank you again, man, for really coming to the Leverage Show, always dropping nuggets, always dropping bombs, and you doing what you do best out here, dude.
All right. Have a great day.
You as well. Take care, my friend. Well, you guys, man, we really want to thank, man, Rondi, man, for definitely being here on the show. He really went on ahead and crushed it, man, and allowed us to be able to help level up. Make sure you guys go like and subscribe to my guy, Rondi Lambeth. And it's whether it's social media, whether it's rondilambeth.com, you guys make sure you guys tap in, get plugged in to his product. Rondi does training. I'm telling you what, if you guys know, like I know, I would be out there or the first one signed up to be doing training and learning from this mastermind, this great person who has really killed the game, right, out here for so many years. Me and Rondi, I've known him for years. Like I said, I've learned so much game from Rondi personally because he is really one of the biggest trailblazers who is out here. Listen, you guys want to stay tapped in. Everybody, I thank y'all. I see everybody, man, out here in the comments, man. Thank you guys, man, for everything you guys have done, man, and really showing love, man, and coming out here, man, to support my guy, Rondi, man, right here on The Leverage Show. He definitely killed it. He definitely did his thing, man. Shout out to each and every single one of you guys. I see y'all. I see y'all. Great show, Lambo. Great show, Rondi, man. Thank you guys for everything. All of these comments, man, you guys know what we do. Listen, make sure you guys stay tapped in and stay plugged in right here at The Leverage Show every Tuesday and Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, right? Today was a special day because Rondi came on here an hour earlier but couldn't wait to go on ahead and drop some amazing content for you guys. Listen, I thank you guys. Until next time, we are out of here, man. Rondi Lambeth, trust me, we'll be back on The Leverage Show. So you guys stay tuned to my guy, Rondi, man, and him coming back to drop more knowledge. Love you guys. Take care. God bless. Till next time, I'm Lambo Drew. It's been your boy, Rondi Lambeth, and we are out of here.